Once upon a time, in a faraway land covered with snow and shining mountains, there lived a beautiful queen who wished for a child as pure as snow, with lips as red as a rose and hair as black as ebony. One winter morning, as snowflakes danced outside her window, she whispered her wish to the heavens. Soon after, her wish came true, and a baby girl was born, so lovely that she was named Snow White, the Princess of Snow. But happiness did not last forever. The queen grew ill and passed away, leaving the king heartbroken. Time went by, and the king married again. The new queen was beautiful but proud and cruel. She had a magical mirror that she would ask every day. "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?" The mirror always replied, "You are, my queen." Years passed, and Snow White grew up into a kind and gentle princess. Her heart was full of love for everyone, even the smallest bird or deer in the forest. One day, when the queen asked her mirror the same question, the mirror answered, "My queen, you are fair, but Snow White is fairer than you." The queen's heart filled with jealousy and rage. She ordered a huntsman to take Snow White deep into the forest and never bring her back. But when the huntsman looked into the innocent eyes of the princess, his heart softened. He could not harm her. "Run away, dear child," he whispered. "The queen wants to harm you. Never return to the castle." Snow White ran through the forest, frightened and alone. The trees seemed tall and dark, and strange sounds echoed all around her. But soon, she found a small cottage hidden among the trees. Inside, everything was tiny. Little chairs, little plates, and little beds. Tired from her journey, Snow White fell asleep on one of the beds. When the sun set, 7 dwarfs came home from working in the diamond mines. They were surprised to find a girl sleeping in their home. "Who could this be?" whispered one dwarf. When Snow White woke up, she told them her story. The dwarfs took pity on her and said, "You may stay with us, but be careful. The queen must never find you." Snow White smiled and promised to keep the house clean, cook, and wait for them each day. The days passed happily. The dwarfs loved her dearly, and she brought joy and laughter to their little cottage. But far away in the castle, the wicked queen once again asked her mirror, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?" The mirror replied, "Snow White, who lives with the 7 dwarfs, is the fairest of them all." The queen was furious. She disguised herself as an old peddler woman and went to the forest. She knocked on the dwarf's door, carrying shiny ribbons. "Beautiful ribbons for a beautiful girl," she said sweetly. Snow White, not recognizing her, opened the door. The queen laced the ribbons so tightly around her waist that Snow White fainted. When the dwarfs came home, they quickly cut the ribbon, and she came back to life. The queen tried again, this time with a poisoned comb. Snow White fainted once more. And again, the dwarfs saved her. At last, the queen made a poisonous red apple, so beautiful and shiny that no one could resist it. Disguised again, she knocked on the cottage door. "Sweet child," she said, "try this magical apple. It's the juiciest in the land." Snow White took one small bite and fell to the ground, still and silent. When the dwarfs returned, they could not wake her. They cried and placed her gently in a glass coffin in the heart of the forest, for she looked as if she were only sleeping. Days turned into months, and one day a young prince rode through the forest. When he saw Snow White, he was struck by her beauty and sadness. "She is too lovely to be gone," he whispered. He lifted the glass lid and kissed her gently on the forehead. At that very moment, the piece of poisoned apple slipped from her lips, and Snow White's eyes fluttered open. The dwarfs danced with joy, and the prince helped her stand. Snow White smiled, her cheeks glowing like the dawn. The prince took her to his castle, and soon they were married in a grand ceremony. The evil queen, upon hearing the news, ran to her mirror and asked once more, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?" The mirror replied, "Snow White, the princess of snow, now a queen of love and light." The queen was filled with fury, but her power vanished forever. Peace returned to the land, and Snow White and her prince lived happily ever after, surrounded by kindness, laughter, and love. A reminder that true beauty